What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Honey Jack. Today, I'm going to tell you guys the pros and cons of going to my college, Hampton University. Personally, I love Hampton, and obviously there are things I liked about it and I didn't like about it, but I'm not going to be too chit-chatty. I'm just going to go right into the pros and cons, facts, and just give y'all the details. So, let's get right into it. The first thing I'd say is, that is a con for me, but can be a pro for men, for example. There are mostly girls at Hampton. I think the ratio is like 80% to 20. Hampton is super, 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 super small. And that's kind of annoying. I think the population is around like 6,000 people. It's one of those schools that everyone knows everyone. So a lot of people don't really talk about this because it's kind of embarrassing. But roughly the first 3 months or so, freshmen are on curfew. So if you plan on going to Hampton in the future, know that you will be on curfew, and they do take it seriously. I've seen people run and trucking it back to their dorm rooms. Yes, it is serious. But if your class is good, they try to let you off before homecoming so you can really turn up for homecoming. But if your class isn't good, they don't care. They'll keep you on curfew. So I didn't have the best dorm life at Hampton. My experience at Hampton got a lot better once I moved off campus, but overall dorm room experience, I guess I wouldn't say was the best for me because you only have visitation during the weekends, and I feel like if you're grown, you should be able to have visitation whenever you want to, but I digress. But freshman year, I stayed in VC, and VC was clutch in a sense because the rules aren't as strict. The corner rooms, there are corner rooms that are big, like you can do a cartwheel in there. And I know the corner room that I had a walk-in closet. The one good thing I would say about Du Bois is it's a really homey environment. Like, you don't have meetings too often that are annoying, like, in the middle of the night that you have to attend. Or they literally have, like, one meeting for the year, and you sign in, and that's it. So Du Bois isn't bad, especially if you have a little boo on campus and y'all both stay in Du Bois. But other than that, Du Bois isn't too bad. It's just the size of the rooms that kind of suck. But if I were you, as soon as you become an upperclassman, I would move off campus. Like, there's really no reason to stay on campus, and I guarantee your experience at Hampton will become so much better. Honestly, room and board is almost the same as getting an apartment in the Hampton Roads area, so you might as well venture out and do that. Is Hampton a party school? Hampton can be a party school, and it can be a super dead school. It's really all about who you know. If you stay in your room, especially freshman year, get to know people freshman year. If you stay in your room all the time, and if you don't go out, and if you don't join clubs or activities or don't do anything, you're not going to know anybody. And since Hampton is kind of in the middle of nowhere, like, it's not like Howard, it's not like Morehouse and Spelman and Clark, Atlanta. Like, it's not like you're in the middle of the city. You're literally in Hampton, Virginia, like Western Virginia. So if you don't get to know people, you're not going to have fun. Greek life. Greek life is pretty much cracking at Hampton right now. Almost everybody is there now in the Divine Nine. But if you have aspirations, this is my advice. Go to all of their events. Be active. Do activities. And go out and meet people. Because at Hampton, if you want to be Greek, it's very competitive. So that's what I would say about Greek life. The closest apartment complexes near Hampton is the Harbors and the Heritage. The Harbors kind of sucks because, yes, the Harbors has most of the parties, but a lot of parties get shut down if they're too cracking. It depends on what time of the year it is, what's going on, what's happening. Like, it really just depends, but the Harbors can just be like a little ratchet. The Heritage is a step up. It's a little better. Like, there are parties and stuff, but it's not as bad. The Heritage is nicer too. I stayed in the Heritage and I enjoyed it. You can't have a car on campus unless you have junior credits, and there are ways around that. For example, if you want to get a job, they'll let you have your car on campus, or if you can finesse a Harbor's parking pass. Another pro, homecoming. Homecoming is one of the littest times of the year. Most college campuses, when it comes to their homecomings, they focus their stuff around the college football games and everything, but at Hampton, it's all about 12 to 5, and 12 to 5 is basically a party in the middle of the student center, and even outside it's kind of like a block party, if you will. There it is a dry campus, but people are drunk. It's a good drunken time, okay? It's really fun. Homecoming is just like the best time ever. And don't get me wrong, you can bring your kids there. It's not like people are like off the walls, because you know you're not really supposed to have liquor on campus anyways. But out by 5 is real. I've known so many people that's gotten out by 5, and it just breaks my heart. And out by 5 is normally targeted to freshmen, and it's normally when people will go to a party or they'll just be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and the university kicks them out. And if you live on campus, your stuff has to be out of the dorm room by 5 o'clock that day or like the next day. Like I've met a lot of people, good people too, that have made some mistakes, you know, like anybody, wrong place, wrong time, and they got kicked out of Hampton. So if you're gonna go to Hampton, it's a good school and you can turn up and you can have fun, but you gotta be careful about who you hang around, because if you're not around the right people, it will mess you up. And the administration, they don't care. Like they care, but if you're giving them bad publicity and if you're doing things they're not supposed to do, and if it's attracting the wrong attention, they want nothing to do with it. They will kick you out of the school. Gone. Like, good Lord. This is probably the most frustrating thing about Hampton. The administrative side is so frustrating. Unorganized. And honestly, this is probably true about HBCUs in general, but Hampton, y'all administration is just so unorganized. Like, I can't tell y'all how many times I would pre-register for a semester, and I would come back from Christmas break or summer break, and I can't tell y'all how many times half of my classes would be dropped. And of course, I would get classes back, and I would get my certain amount that I needed, like, you know, credits that I needed for the semester. But I will tell you that there were a couple of classes that I had to push way far back because I couldn't get them back because it didn't go through the system, and all of the classes that I needed were dropped. So like, say if I needed a class sophomore year or junior year, I had to wait to take them senior year because my classes got dropped when I came back. If I were you, I would get cool with at least 1 or 2 professors in your department, at least 1 or 2, real cool with them, and then make sure that they know that your stuff is aligned where it's supposed to be. So make sure that all of your stuff is on track, because there's nothing worse than senior year and you see that you don't have enough credits to graduate. So, and you have to be on top of that because they won't be on top of it. So, yeah. Talk to your bigs about what professors you should take. I've had really good professors. I've had not so great professors. There are some professors that I've had that are like really cool. Like, there's a couple of them that were really supportive, like when my sister died and everything, and they were just awesome. And then I've had some really bad professors that are just like, why are you even working here? So, but I feel like that's with any school. So talk to your big brothers, your big sisters, like your Hampton big brother sisters. Talk to them and they'll tell you what to do. Another pro. We have a beach that's 5 minutes away from campus. It's not Virginia Beach, it's BUCKROE Beach. And BUCKROE Beach isn't as good as Virginia Beach, but it's still pretty cool to have a beach near campus, because I don't know about y'all. I live in the Midwest. I live in Chicago, and our beach is a lake, and don't nobody go in that lake. Like, Hampton students will throw parties there all the time and turn up there. And then overall, Hampton has a really good education program. Like, they really make sure that their students are educated and prepared for the world. Being Hamptonized. Let's talk about being Hamptonized. That is a real thing, and people talk about it, and people from other schools are like, what is that? Like, y'all just be talking. Like, no, being Hamptonized is a real thing. And I'd say that term comes from just basically the glow up. They really teach you how to carry yourself as a young lady. And then being around such an interesting group of young Black women, you learn how to dress phenomenally. And I will say it's a little intimidating when you first get to Hampton, because there are some people that really got money, that really be rolling around in BMWs and Bentleys and really just got it. But there are people at Hampton that don't have money. There are people at Hampton that aren't rolling in dough. Even though everybody doesn't have money, when you become Hamptonized, you learn how to dress. You don't have to have a lot of money to look bomb. And if there's one thing that Hamptonians do, is we pop out and we look bomb. I don't care what anybody says. And yes, I'm calling you out, Howard. I'm not saying that y'all can't dress, but y'all don't dress like us. Hampton, literally, it's a pop-out event. Every event is a pop-out event. It's not just women that dress, the men dress too. They'll have their suits on and looking all swaggy and all of that. So there really is a Hampton glow. Like, you learn your own personal style. You learn your own swagger. You really become your own person. Oh, and it's not just, Hamptonized isn't just like looking the part too. It's actually mentally becoming stronger too. And really taking those internships and reading those books and really going to class every day and joining those organizations and really just stepping out into the world. And that is being Hamptonized. Hamptonized is a real thing. But that wraps up this video for the pros and cons of attending Hampton University. If you guys want to know more about Hampton, anything in particular, or if you just want to know what it's like attending a HBCU in general, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.